All right, what's up, guys? VV back with another video. And in today's video, we're doing, guys, we got one of my favorite videos to do. We're doing a tier list in today's video. It has been quite some time since we did one, since the last time we've done one of these on the channel. So today, guys, we got a lot to go over, though. Let me break down the whole video so we can dive straight into this, okay? First things first, we've got about, I think, 7 new spoilers to talk about from OP11. That will be the first section of today's video, is 7 new spoilers, okay? Really cool new cards from OP11. After that, we're going to be going into the tier list. That will probably be the overwhelming majority of the video, right? During that, the first part, guys, I'm going to rate every single leader. I'm going to tell you the honest truth. Guys, things are starting to... You know, we're getting further and further, deeper and deeper into the game and into the card pool and everything. So some leaders have been falling off. They've been falling down the line. It's bound to happen, guys, with this thing. It is a concept very well known in TCGs, known as power creep. Okay, so I'm going to be brutally honest with some of these leaders. Some people might not like where I place them, but we're going to do OP09 first. Okay, well we're going to do all the leaders up to OP09 first. So that will kind of cover how I think things are currently in the meta we are in over here in the West, right? Then after that, I will start adding in the OP11, or excuse me, OP10. Let me do it in the correct order. The OP10 leaders into the ST21 leader, into the EB02 leader, and then going into the OP11 leaders. Okay, so hopefully that will make sense, and I should do it in that exact order after we do all the OP09 stuff first. Okay, after that, we have one game to go over the sim, one game to go over on the sim of Yellow Eustace Kid versus Green Purple Luffy. Okay, so we got a lot of fun stuff lined up in today's video. I will have everything time-stamped in the general description, guys. I'll have all relevant deck lists and links like that in the comment section below. You guys know the drill by now, right? If you guys have any comments, questions, or suggestions, please do not hesitate to put those in the comment section below, or hop on the VV Theory Discord. Link is in the channel description, okay? Now, one more thing I will say before we launch into this. I will be streaming tonight. It is Saturday at the time of me recording this. I will be streaming tonight, probably close to 11. You know, pretty late night stream, guys. We got the VV Theory after hours going on, and it will not be a One Piece related stream. It'll just be a hangout. It'll be we'll probably be talking a lot about basketball because, guys, that's a passion of mine is basketball. We're gonna be talking about the Luka stuff. You know, the Luka trade. I got a lot of stuff I want to talk about there. We'll be talking about all kind of. I'm just gonna say this. We'll talk about all kind of NBA stuff. Then, of course, we'll probably, I'll probably be playing something other than One Piece TCG tonight, something like League of Legends, Marvel Rivals, something very, it'll be a total off-topic night, let me say that. But for those who want to hear, or who want to watch me or see me stream about One Piece, Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays on this channel, we stream on YouTube, right? On YouTube, we stream from 9 p.m. Eastern to 12 a.m., okay? So we do that every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and that is going to be a focused One Piece stream. Okay, it always will be. Now, yeah, we do a little bit of deviation on there. Like sometimes we do have to mention, things that come up, hot topics that pop up, no matter what it is. But when on the weekends, what we're probably going to start doing is maybe once every week or two on the weekend, a Friday or Saturday stream late at night. We'll be doing other games. It'll be like the off-topic night. Okay, that's enough for that intro. That was long enough, right? Okay, let's do this, guys. Let's get into this video. First things first, we're going over to the spoilers, right? Yeah, we got the spoilers first. Okay, let me shrink my head down. Actually, it's kind of perfect right there for now. Don't worry, we'll shrink my head down once we get to the other stuff, right? The good stuff, the tier list. So, first spoiler, guys. Here we go. Arlong. We got a green 7-cost, 7,000 power character, Fishman, Fishman Island, Sun Pirates type. Excuse me. Check out this effect, guys. So, real quick, before I even go into the effect here, I put out a green-yellow Arlong video like a day or two ago now. I think it was 2 days ago at the time of recording this. And everyone was like, have you seen the new Arlong? Have you seen the new Arlong? I was like, no. Like, I have not seen it because I just put out the video the day that it was kind of like spoiled, which was kind of funny. So, I missed that. So, let's hear it. Let's see it. I have read it since then. But let's see what it says, guys. Let's see what everyone's talking about. So it says, if your leader has the Fishman type, you have 3 or... And, wait, hang on. If your leader has the Fishman type, you have 3 or less life, and your opponent has 5 or more rested cards on their board, this card in your hand has -3 cost. So I'm just going to be honest with you right up front, guys. I don't think the card is good. I'm sorry, that's just me. I would rather play a 4-cost 6K that will always be a 4-cost 6K unconditionally, and I don't have to worry about cheating out with my leader effect. So that's first things first. Not saying it doesn't have potential, but we're going to talk about it in a minute. There is a trigger as well. Of course, there has to be a trigger for the leader effect. Rest up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 4 or less. The trigger is already just the 4-cost 6K Arlong, right? And now my biggest problem with this card, like, sure, it does have a 1K counter, and it is a 7,000 power body, and who knows, maybe you'll be able to cheat it out at an appropriate time. But at the same time, it is something where if I have this in my hand, or if I hit the trigger, I'm not going to be especially happy, right? Especially my opening pull. So let's talk about the application here. It says, if your leader has the Fishman type, you have 3 or less life, and your opponent has 5 or more rested cards on their board, this card in your hand has -3 cost. So this will never come down before turn 3, right? Like, let's just get that out of the way, because they have to have, well, it says 5 or more rested cards on their board. So I guess technically there's a possibility where if they have 3 Dawn tapped, and they attacked with their leader going first, and they attacked them with like a smaller character, if they didn't have any Dawn attached in any way, shape, or form, maybe you could cheat out around turn 2. But it's not going to be the thing that you cheat out on turn 1. Or, excuse me, on turn 2, right? If we're going first, let's talk about ideals here, right? If we are going first, okay, we're going to go turn 1 pass. Turn 2, we're going to go swing for 7, knock them down a life, hopefully, and cheat out a 4-cost 6K. That's our ideal turn, right? That is our ideal sequence order of play there, right? Then after that, maybe, because they should be on a 4 Dawn turn, so they should have their leader attack. But see, here's my problem, guys. I'm already going to try to, like, my perfect turn 3 play in the situation we just talked about is where I go the new 3-cost Arlong. I lock down their, now the guy they played this turn cannot rest, right? It cannot go sideways or whatever. And then I'm also going to cheat out my 4-cost 6K Arlong, locking down their leader. He won't be rested either. So, I mean, it comes down to like, okay, that's my turn 2 play, right? Or, well, I guess technically turn 3, right? So turn 1 pass, turn 2, swing in, cheat out Ikikanojo. Next turn, play out the 3-cost Arlong, cheat out the 4-cost Arlong, and lock their whole board from turning sideways. Their leader will not be able to attack, and their character will not be able to block or attack. So those are 2 cards that will not be sideways. They literally won't be able to turn unless some other effect can do that. I don't even know. So my point is, this card, I guess, is meant to be a 4-cost play at that point, which it's not bad. So maybe, let me say that. I'll try to be as positive as I can with this card. Maybe this is meant to be your 7 Dawn play when they have, because, okay, hang on. Yeah, if they tapped out all their Dawn to play out something big without having to attach anything or leave any Dawn active, then this card can be very good as your 7 Dawn play, even though it will come in for 4, right? Maybe that will be the situation where this card is okay. But I'll say this right now, I'm not in love with it, but it might be one of those cards where I have to try it and see like, oh wow, this is actually really good in order to appreciate it. Because that does happen too, guys. But I will say this, the way Arlong works, the way that I play, everyone has their own play style, right? And I'm not saying my play style is better than anyone else's or anything like that. But the way that I play Arlong is like, if I don't get like a specific set of, actions going there, I'm not feeling great about, how the game's going to go. So getting all the way into my 7 Dawn turn, if this is my play, it doesn't do anything, right? It's just letting me cheat out a body that's 1,000 more power, a conditional body, a body that's conditionally 1,000 power more than most of my characters in the deck, right? Because remember, we've got Buggy as a 4-cost 6K, we've got Kikinojo a 4-cost 6K, and maybe that's, and Arlong is a 4-cost 6K. They're just always that. So this card being a 7,000 power body is not very fancy. It's not really that great. But here's the thing. When you play this card out, there is no on-play effect, right? Let me read it one more time. If your leader has Fishman type, you have 3 or less life, and your opponent has 5 or more rested cards on their board, this card is -3 cost in hand. Yeah, so it's really just a 4-cost 7K at best. That's what this card is at best, is a 4-cost 7K that does have a 1K counter and a trigger, but the trigger's not a trigger body. See, that's the thing. I almost wish that the trigger... Let me say this. So someone was asking me, I didn't have any games going second in the video I put out recently playing Green Yellow Arlong. And let me say this real quick too, guys. Don't worry, we won't be going over this much for every single one of these, for every one of these spoilers. But this one in particular speaks to me being a Green Yellow Arlong player. I really do love that deck, and I think it has a lot of potential. But someone, you know, like reached out and said, "Hey, man, well, what about when we go second?" You know what? Now we're talking. That's a good question. Why don't we have a turn 2 play now? You know what I mean? I mean, yes, we do get our 3-Dawn Arlong. No, never mind. He's not a turn. Like, we won't be able to do anything with 4-Dawn, right? With 4-Dawn, with that new Arlong, he is... Hang on. Am I doing this right? 3. We have 1 Dawn left. We attach 1 to our leader. Yeah, we can't do anything. So, like, we need a 4-Dawn play or a 6-Dawn play that is just incredible for our leader. And this card, maybe he'll help with that, because on our 6-Dawn play, maybe our opponent will be fully tapped out for 5-Dawn. But then think about it. Again, what's our insane new play we just got? We can cheat out a 4-cost 7K? I'm sorry, guys. I'm just not really seeing it for this card. It will probably still go in the deck, though. I'm going to, you know... It's got to at least go in the deck as like a 2 or a 3 of, right? But then we lose trigger bodies. I don't know, man. We'll see, guys. I will at least test the card in the future, but I'm not in love with what this card is doing for Arlong. Hey, I mean, maybe this will be good in other decks, like any other Fishman deck where we can cheat this out for 4. Because if you're just playing a normal deck that has a very good leader effect, and you can play this guy out as a 4-cost 7K, and he has a 1K counter in hand, and he has the upside of having a trigger, then it's really good. But the actual Green-Yellow Arlong deck itself is a very specifically, you know, calibrated, balanced, all-out attack deck, right? It is an aggressive deck, and this is yet another card I would have to include in my deck that is not a trigger from my life. We'll see what happens. I'm not completely down on it, but I'm not really in love with the way this card is. Very cool stuff. Cannot wait to mess with it, though. Okay, next up we have Kuzan. Like I said, guys, I don't think we're going to spend that long on all the different leaders, but hey, for Arlong, we had to make an exception, right? Or all the different new spoilers, excuse me, not new leaders. So, Kuzan, this is a 4-cost, 5,000 power black character. It does have a 1K counter, it says here, but it doesn't say it up here in the text, but we can actually see it on the card, right? It's a 4-cost 5K with a 1K counter. On play, trash 3. That is already good. I'm going to be honest. So I don't have to read any further than this, to be honest. Don't worry, we will. But I already like where this is going. A 4-cost 5K with a 1K counter that trashes the top 3. Again, unless there is some type of insane graphical error here with this 1K counter next to my head, next to my face cam. Unless that is just, I'm imagining it. Then I know it's not on this card, but or it doesn't say it on the description. But that's incredible. Okay. Then it also has... While attacking, choose one of your leader or characters with Navy, and during this turn, it can attack active characters. It can attack active characters. Wow, guys, love this. Absolutely love this card, guys. This is a great new direction they're starting to go with attacking active characters. I have mentioned this in the past. I do think that should be a more... I actually thought that should have been a red form of removal, not black. I don't understand why we're giving black cards the ability to KO, you know, to trash, to do cost reduction, and now they can also attack inactive characters. I feel like that should have been a red thing, but I'm not mad about this card. It's very, very good. I just think it was not properly colored. Like, I mean, why couldn't this have been a red Kuzan card, right? For like, I don't want to say exclusively Kobe support, but who knows? Maybe Garp support as well. You never know. But other than that, I think the card is very strong. Cannot wait to mess around with something like this. Good stuff. Okay, here we go, guys. We got Monkey D. Garp. Here we go. So this is a 8-cost, 8,000 power black character. It is Navy. This one does not have a counter. It is an SR. It's got the silver border, right? On play, you may place 3 cards with the type Navy from your trash to the bottom of your deck in any order, and then give up to one of your leaders 1 Rested Dawn. Then, if there is a character in play with a cost of 9 or more... cost of 9 or more, KO up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 7 or less. So this is not a Navy locked leader deck, but it is like a Navy locked type there for the on play. You may place 3 cards with a navy with the type navy from your trash to the bottom of your deck in any order. That is before the colon, so that will be in bold. That is part of the cost, okay? So you cannot go further with the effect until you satisfy that cost, okay? And then it says give up to one of your leaders 1 Rested Dawn. Then if there is a character in play with a cost of 9 or more, you can KO up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 7 or less. And this is not a Navy sword character. Is that correct? This is also not sword. So I just want to see something real quick. We're going to go up to Kobe real quick, guys. Just bear with me. I have to look at something. I don't understand this. I'm not going to lie. I'm not in love with this. So your sword type characters can attack characters the turn they are played. And then once per turn, when one of your Navy type characters with an original power of 7,000 or less is removed from play by your opponent's effects, instead, you may place 3 cards from your trash to the bottom of your deck in any order. So what is the idea here? Like, what is this even support for? What is the 9-cost card we're playing first to play in to this card? Is this meant for ST14 Luffy? Like, is this literally ST14 Luffy tech? Because that's not a Navy deck, but I guess you can build it, like, fully. I guess it does have a lot of Navy sometimes, right? Because I've seen a few different builds for it. But I don't know. So is this card good? Yes, absolutely. The card's very good, but I don't like that last part. Like, what is this? This had this part at the end here. That is so odd, isn't it? It's very peculiar. Then, if there is a character in play with a cost of 9 or more, KO up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 7 or less. That's strange, guys. So would that go in Usopp? No, Usopp only buffs your Dressrosa characters by 1, I believe. Blue-black. What about purple-black Luffy? If you maybe like a purple-black Luffy deck that's built for the Navy, because excuse me, I believe purple-black Luffy. Let me bring that up real quick. Let me bring up the purple cards, and we'll look at purple-black Luffy. Yeah, so Dawn times 1, your characters have +1 cost, and then the other one that's probably a lot of people are thinking of. I guess I should have just brought up the black cards because it would have brought up both. Is this? No, I always get it messed up. This one. So this one has Dawn times 1. Give all of your characters +1 cost, and if you control a cost 8 or higher character, this leader gains +1,000. So maybe the Garp we were just looking at. Let's bring it back up. Yeah, this card. Maybe this card is meant to be for one of those 2 decks, like purple-black Luffy and a Navy variant of that, and then ST14 Luffy, a Navy variant of that. I don't know. Otherwise, I just don't really understand the added idea here at the end. Then, if there is a character in play with a cost of 9 or more, KO up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 7 or less. I want that effect, right? Like, that's the effect I really want. The on play, place 3 cards with Navy type from your trash to the bottom of your deck in any order. Give up to one leader 1 Rested Dawn. Then do this effect. Yeah, so I'm assuming, guys, again, I can't really prove it, but I feel like this is meant exclusively for the 2 characters we just saw, or excuse me, the 2 leaders we just saw. Purple-black Luffy and ST14 Luffy. You guys tell me what y'all think in the comment section below. Really strong card in those decks, but in any other deck, that is a very mediocre effect. And this guy doesn't even have sword with the other OP11 Black Navy stuff we've been looking at. But neither does this Kuzan. So I guess they're just trying to be very careful with what they give sword to. Is it just the red Navy cards? No, this one doesn't have sword. This one does. This one does. Yeah, maybe they're just trying to give it. Well, no, the Helmeppo is a black card with sword. Whatever. We'll see what happens, guys. We got to keep our eyes peeled for that. We got to stay on our toes and keep our eyes on it. Very strong card, though. I need to see more about this. I need to test this because it's potentially very strong, guys. An 8-cost AK that can pop a 7. Yeah, thumbs up. We'll take it every time. I just don't like how specific it was, guys. I don't like how limited and restricted it was. At least that's the way it felt. Okay, so here we go, guys. Charlotte Katakuri. Whoa, another 8-cost AK, guys. So didn't we see an 8-cost AK blue secret rare Luffy in this set as well? I am just gonna, guys. We gotta pick up on the patterns, right? We have to pick up on these patterns because we saw a lot of 7-cost 7Ks pop out a while back. Okay, there it is. Yeah, this is an 8-cost 8K secret from OP11. So 8-cost 8K might be the special number here for OP11. The stat line they're really trying to make better. 8-cost AK Garp, 8-cost AK Katakuri. Now, this is a Big Mom Pirates blocker. 8-cost, 8,000 power, purple blocker. I believe Aramaki has the same stat line, right? Let's look at that real quick. Let me see something. Let me type in 8. Let's bring up the blue cards. Yeah, 8 cost 8,000 power blocker Aramaki. You guys remember this card? All the way back from OP06. Okay, let's see what it says, though. So at the end of your turn, set up to 2 of your Big Mom Pirates type characters with a cost of 3 or more as active. Okay, then add up to 1 Dawn from your Dawn deck and rest it. So at the end of your turn, you can set up to 2 of your characters that cost 3 or more as active. The Big Mom Pirates cards, of course, and you get a Dawn. You ramp a Dawn. Okay, well, this might be very good then for the Linlin we just saw recently. You guys remember? I'm sorry, I know, guys, I'm skipping all around right now, but bear with me. You guys remember this Linlin card that was a Dawn -5 effect? Wow. Okay, so now we can get Dawn back in a whole nother way. So that's very good. Or if we just need to get our Dawn back from our leader effect with the purple, the new purple Katakuri. So I am a big fan of this card. I love how it's standing your characters up, protecting them, and it's a blocker. So not only is it keeping your characters, you know, active, so they can't go into your character sideways, but then he's also standing up and he's blocking for your leader. So I'm a big fan of this card. I think this is probably my favorite one I've seen so far of today's spoilers, at least so far. Really big fan of this. And guys, check out that art. Okay, my head's in the way, whatever. Yeah, there it is. That looks so awesome, guys. This looks so good. Really cool looking art. Okay, next up we got an event. Okay, this is our first event for today. Gear 2. It's called Gear 2. This event is called Gear 2. Purple event, 1 cost, Straw Hat Crew. It has a main effect of you may rest 2 of your Dawn cards. Okay, so you're going to pay 2 and rest 2. And then if your leader has the color blue... Okay, maybe Blurple Luffy, right? Add 1 Dawn card from your Dawn deck and rest it. Okay, I mean, it's ramp. Excuse me, this only costs 1. It doesn't cost 2. So pay 1 and then rest 2. So basically pay 3, ramp a Dawn. That's not bad. That's actually very good, guys. And then it also has a counter. Wow, it also has a counter, guys. So counter, give your leader plus 3,000 power for this battle. So this is like the Divine Departure, you know, Red's Divine Departure. This is like Purple's version of that. Big fan of that. That's a very high utility card. A 1-cost event where you can pay extra in the main for a very powerful effect or sit on it in hand for defensive purposes later in the game. Now remember, same thing is true about this card as Divine Departure. Give your leader plus 3,000 power for this battle, not your any other character. It is not characters. It is leaders only with these special, you know, 1-cost events that do this, and that's been true so far across both of them. Really love effects like this, guys. I'm a huge fan of the high utility stuff where I have a lot of options and I can choose to do what I want to, depending on what part of the game we're in. Okay, next up we have Capone Beige. Okay, now I have seen this one. Okay, so I'll try to give you guys a genuine response, right? Like not a generic reaction, but hey, guys, I'm a big fan of this one. So Capone Beige here is a yellow character, 2 cost, 1,000 power, 1k counter with blocker. Okay, so right across the stat line there, it is very useful. I have a 1k counter in hand. I have an early 2-drop blocker. Okay, that's already good enough. And then on top of that, the 1k counter doesn't really matter because it's a utility blocker, right? Once per turn, if one of your Supernova type characters other than Capone Beige were to be removed from the board by an opponent's effect, you may instead add it to the top of your life face down. Guys, that is interesting. Let me read that one more time. Once per turn, if one of your Supernova type characters other than Capone Beige were to be removed from the board by an opponent's effect, you may instead add it to the top of your life face down. So in other words, I've got this blocker on the board. And okay, well, I can't get around the blocker, so I'll just try to remove your character. So again, if you have a Supernova type character other than Beige, notice there's no color restriction. It can be a yellow or green Supernova, which is very important, or even red. Just saying, red for other decks. Maybe red, yellow, Sabo. I'm just saying, who knows? It may be a red, yellow Supernova Sabo deck in the future, right? But hear me out. If one of your Supernova type characters other than Beige would be removed from the board by an opponent's effect, bounce a hand, KO'd, trashed, you name it, instead goes to the top of your life face down. They literally cannot get rid of the card with an effect while this card exists on the field. Once per turn at least, right? If they have multiple effects, that's different. This card is incredible, guys. This is an absolute auto-include in the new OP10 green-yellow law. This card is going to be incredible. The art looks amazing. Guys, look at the sun. Do y'all see the sun on the cap? I'm not going to move my camera. But y'all see like on the top here? Like, look at that. It's like the opposite of shading, right? It's like the opposite of shading. This is just done so well. Very good stuff. You'd love to see it. It gives him like an aura almost, right? The sun gleaming down behind him, you know, off of his back and hat. This angle is incredible. So really good stuff there. Love this one. This is now probably my favorite one. I forgot about this. But out of all the cards we've seen so far, this is probably my favorite one because it's yellow. That's probably the honest reason, to be honest, guys. Just trying to be realistic, right? Trying to be real with y'all. Okay, next up we have another event here. Okay, Gum Gum Red Hawk. Wait a minute, Gum Gum Red Hawk. Don't we already have that? Why do they do that, guys? Hang on, I gotta type this in. Red Hawk. Whoops, hopefully I didn't just freeze everything up. There we go. Red Hawk is in red. Yeah, we already have Gum Gum Red Hawk. Why do they give them the same name, guys? That's so silly. Anyway, you know, that's probably a one-piece thing. Who knows? But we got another Gum Gum Red Hawk, and this is a one-cost Straw Hat crew event. It's yellow, though. It's not red. It's yellow. Main, you may rest 3 Dawn. Okay, and I see a count. Okay, we have another one, guys. Okay, so we're seeing a real pattern here. So Divine Departure started a new, basically, like, type of card, right? These one-cost events that are 3K counters for your leader exclusively, but then they also have main effects where you tap additional Dawn to get a very powerful effect during your main. So very, very cool thing here. I'm a big fan of this. Let's see what this one does. So this one is a Straw Hat crew. It looks like Doflamingo, though, guys. Look at the picture. Okay, but it looks like, oh, I see him now. I will shrink my head down so y'all can see the full picture. So there's Luffy under Doflamingo. You can't even barely see him from this angle. Let me see. Yeah, it will let me zoom in even more. There he is. You see his head right there, guys. His hair and everything, and it looks like he's attacking Doflamingo. Very cool. So it is a Straw Hat crew effect, even though it looks like Don Quixote, Doflamingo Pirates or something. It is a one cost. We already know the counter plus 3K. The activate main is you may rest 3 Dawn, so this one will cost 4 altogether. So remember, the purple one costs 3, the red one costs 6, and this one costs 4. If both players' total life is 5 or more. So that means, I think what they're saying is if the combined life total between you and your opponent is 5 or more, KO up to one of your opponent's characters with an original cost of 5 or less. I think this should just be a pop 5. I think this should just pop a 5 or less, guys. I don't agree with that. Or even make it something where it's like, you know, instead of rest 3, I think they should have made this a rest 2 as well. I think this should have been a 3 Dawn card that said, you know, rest 2. So pay 1 and then the extra 2. So rest 2 instead of 3 Dawn, and then KO a character based off you and your opponent's life total. I think that's what this should have been. But whatever, this is still fine. It's a little bit more conditional. And again, after a certain point in the game, guys, this is just a dead card, right? I mean, it's not dead. It's not a dead card. It's still a 3K counter. But remember, with these triggers, these do not have with these events, they don't have triggers. So that is kind of a knock against them. But at the same time, I guess a card can't have everything. I still think this is a very good card. But I don't like how after you and your opponent have 5 or more life. So in other words, like after turn 4 or 5 probably, right? After turn 4 or 5... it's like this is just, it's only a one cost 3K. That's all it can pretty much be at that point. Unless, who knows, maybe it'll be a really slow game. You never know, I guess. But either way, big fan of this. It is removal on a 5 cost or lower character. And this is probably meant to get stuff out of the way early on in the game anyway. So good stuff. Big fan of this. Really cool. Okay, and this is the Zeus art reveal. So this is the actual Zeus card here, not the alt art that we've already seen. The alt art that we've already seen, guys, let me just bring that up now. Get rid of this, get rid of this. This is what the alt art looks like that we've already seen, right? Very incredible art here. Huge fan of this. Looks awesome. Okay, and that's it, guys. So that's it for the spoilers. A lot of good stuff coming. OP11 looks really good. I'm a huge fan of these new one-cost 3K counter utility events. Massive fan of those. This beige is incredible. This Katakuri I'm also a big fan of. Garp, we're going to have to see. In the right deck, this could be very strong because he will attach a Dawn immediately when he comes into play, right? If you can if you can place 3 Navy cards at the bottom of your deck in any order, then you will be able to attach a Dawn immediately with his effect and then do the next effect. So it could be decent. It could be good in certain decks. This Kuzan, I love this. I actually think this is a great 4-cost 5K counter, 1K, 4-cost 5,000 power, 1K counter utility Navy card that just comes in play and trashes 3. Awesome. We'll take it every time. Okay, and then the Arlong. We'll have to see about Arlong. I have gone over this in a previous... I think I went over this card in a stream. So, this Arlong, it's kind of cool. It's not bad. It's going to have to grow on me. If it's even good at all, we'll have to see, guys. We'll have to play test it and see what happens. Okay, that's that, guys. Now let's go ahead and go over to the tier list. All right, here we go. We got a tier list here, guys. Let me shrink my head down. I'm going to put me in the top right corner so that way we can just, have more room to see stuff. But at the same time, let me see if it lets me zoom in a little bit. Zoom. It's not really. Kind of. Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad. We'll keep it like this, guys. Seems good. Okay, I can even make my camera bigger like this, too. Okay, so first things first, we're going to be just putting in these cards. I'm going to kind of be slamming these in here, rapid fire, for the cards that, well, hang on, this is not till the very end. Let me move those cards to the bottom if I come across those real quick. We're going to be going through all the cards in the game, all the leader cards in the game up till OP09, and I'm going to tell you what I think about them. And this is an OP09. Remember, not OP10 yet. Okay. And I think I have everything else down here already, right? Yeah, here's all the OP11 stuff. Where's the OP10 stuff? Trafalgar Law and all them. Okay, whenever we get to those, I'll move those around accordingly whenever we get to them. Oh, I see them. They're down there. Okay. All right, here we go. So first things first here, guys. Odin, this is going in D tier. Just understand for this ranking system, guys, S tier is top tier. I didn't come up with any fancy names. S tier is like what you can expect at like the highest level tournaments, the best decks in the game. In the middle is D tier. Don't expect anything from these. Maybe at locals you could pull something off. Depends on how competitive your locals is. A tier stuff is like, okay, it's almost in the S tier range, and I wouldn't exactly be surprised if an A tier deck can win a major event. But consistently, I don't know about that, right? I don't know about consistently. B tier means there might be something there in the future. It needs a little bit more support. We'll have to see. It has potential. C tier is you're going to have to convince me otherwise, right? C tier is like you're going to have to convince me that something in this deck or something, a leader in this tier can actually pull something off. Okay, so I'm going to go Odin, D tier. Blurple Kaido, D tier. King or Magellan, I get this one mixed up every time. It's King. All right, King, D tier. Blurple Croc. Call me crazy if you want to. That's fine. Ace, I'm going to put in the B tier as well. I think it's over for Whitebeard, guys. I don't know. Can someone convince me otherwise? I don't think it's Whitebeard's done, I think, guys. Hody, you guys got to convince me. I know there's some diehard players out there, but I don't think so. Red Purple Uda, not seeing it anymore, guys. I know a lot of people for a very long time were really high up on this leader. So was I. I thought, man, in OP10, in OP09, I was like, dude, this leader's probably not that bad. Guys, not having 5 life is almost too much of a detriment to play any leader right now, unless it has some kind of very special life-gaining mechanic. Red-Green Luffy, I'm sorry, this is just, it's not as bad as the D-tier stuff, but what are you going to do with it? Red-Green Law, I'm not counting this one out anymore. Iceberg is actually at the top of Convince Me tier. Make this thing happen, guys. Is it time yet? No, probably not yet. We'll put Nami at the very bottom of B for now because of how aggressive the tournament, or the scene has been. Arlong as well, I'll put up here. Smoker, A tier. Oh gosh, it's going to be hard to see all these guys, but I do have to zoom out just a little bit, guys. Let me zoom out just a little bit. There we go. Okay, next up is Kairos, D tier. Sorry, guys. Kuro, I'm not seeing it. Someone show me. I got Kuro in D tier. Katakuri is A tier. I think it's up there. It might be at the very end of A tier or at the very top of B tier. I'll put it at the very top of B tier for now. I'll adjust things as we go. Rosinante, it's on the verge of something, guys. It's on the verge of something good. Magellan's not, though. This Lucci, why would you play it? I mean, I'll still put it in a C tier compared to D tier because it's still very strong in that way. My precious Black Yellow Linlin will be at the bottom of D tier as I slowly work it out of the game. Who knows? Maybe it'll get support soon. Hannibal, D tier. Purple Luffy. Yep, now we're talking. I gotta zoom out a little more, guys. Yeah, we're getting to the point where there's a lot of leaders in this game. I will say that. Doflamingo, S tier. Or top tier, whatever you want to call it. Perona, I'll put it at the bottom of B tier for now. Reiju, I'm going to put at the top of B tier. Zoro, I'm going to put probably at the bottom of A, top of B. It is kind of... The stuff on this deck can definitely sneak locals, guys. Stuff on the B tier can easily sneak a locals. Kinemon, you're going to have to convince me about that one. Sanji, sorry, guys. Maybe soon. Gecko, I do think can be at the end of B tier. Garp, I'm putting at the top of C tier. People are going to lose it because I think someone just did well with this, didn't they? No, I'll put it on B tier. I'll put it on B tier because of that. I think someone just did very well with it. Ivankov, I'm dropping it down here. Isho, I would put that on here. Wherever Garp is, I'm putting Isho next to it because I've had more success with Isho than I have Garp. Blue Black Rebecca, I'm sorry guys, not happening. Maybe someone will figure it out soon and I can change my mind on it, but until then, we got to go with it. Zephyr, not happening for now. Even with Black Maria in the format, it just doesn't do enough anymore, guys. It's been like kept out. Okay, let me just frustrate everyone. This card, Green Purple Dofi, man, even in OP10, I cannot get this to work. If you can, tell me about it. Okay, Enel, I'm putting it at the top of A tier. Let me push it above Smoker. Red, Yellow, Bello, Betty. I am putting this in A tier. If I can get up there. There we go. We got to zoom out again, guys. Uh-oh. We're filling up this chart quick. Red, Black, Sabo. I'm going to put at the bottom of B tier. Purple, Yellow, Croc. I will put at, I'll put it in the middle of B tier. Blue, Yellow, Queen, bottom of B tier. So there's probably going to be a lot of B tier stuff where it's just not quite in the conversation yet. Same thing with Green, Yellow, Green, Yellow, Yamato. Red, Green, Odin is in B tier for me. Nefeltari Vivi is in C tier. Sorry, guys. Carrot as well. Green, Purple, Lim is at the bottom of B tier. We'll talk about OP10 in a minute. Remember, guys, this is OP09 first. OP09 first. Okay. Calgara, B tier. Purple Shanks, D tier. Red, Green, Smoker. Red, Green, Smoker. This is OP10, though, isn't it? Hang on. We got to wait for this one. Hang on, guys. We're not there yet. Let me get those out of the way real quick. Nico, Robin, no, that's OP09. Caesar Clown, we're not there yet. I thought I had these in good order, guys. I guess I'm just crazy. Here's ST21. Here's Eustace Kid. There's Usopp. There's Sugar. I think that's it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, that's ST. Where's Green, Yellow, Law? Oh, here he is. Okay, there we go. Now we're ready to go. Okay, Blue Crocodile. I'm sorry, guys. It's just not there for me. I'll put it in C. Because it does at least have 7 Warlords of the Sea, which is like the strongest, one of the strongest types in the game. Red, Green, Chopper. I'm going to put this in top of C for now. It needs help, guys. It's a fun deck to play. Very cool, but I think it needs help. Pudding, I'm going to put it towards the top of B tier for now. We will adjust this when we get to it, guys. I still think there's something there for Marco, one of the few 4-life leaders who I think can pull something off. Blue Promo Luffy, nope. Green Eustace Kid, probably C tier. Purple Black King, bottom of C tier. Blackbeard, hang on, I gotta put it way up here. We're gonna put that at S tier. We'll talk about that in a minute. It might need to be an A tier. I'll tell you what, guys, I will put in A tier, especially for us over here in the West. Purple Kaido, C tier. Purple Black Luffy, let me put that in A tier. We'll talk about that in a minute. That has gone up on my charts. Nico Robin, top of B tier. We might be moving that around, don't worry. Red Purple Luffy, let me put that in B tier. Bonnie, I just don't have enough space. There we go. We'll adjust this in a minute, guys. Let me at least get things like close to where they need to be. Okay, Lucci up here. So again, I put Bonnie and Lucci in A tier, but we're going to probably adjust that up and down a little bit. Dragon, I'm just going to put them near like C tier, guys. It's just not there. Shanks, this needs to go all the way up in S or A tier. Buggy, bottom of B tier. This Luffy, I'm putting in C tier. Sanji, I'll put in B tier. Again, guys, we're going rapid fire, right? Got to keep up here. Don't worry. We will go over it a little bit more in a minute. Eustace Kid, I'm putting at the bottom of B tier. It has like this like combo potential. I know. I'll put it closer towards the top of B tier. This Luffy, no thank you. This is the one I always mess up. Is this like ST09 or ST10 Luffy? I can't remember. Not a huge fan of this one. Foxy is like top of B tier. I'm not gonna lie. We'll talk about him in a minute. Red Yellow Saba has fallen down. We'll talk about that as well. Green Uda, I'm putting in a B tier. Blue Boa, Vega. All these in B tier. ST06 Sakazuki is in D tier. I gotta zoom out even more now, guys, so I can find space on here. Promo Uda is out of here in D tier. Yellow Yamato, D tier. Green Blue Zanji, I'm going to put into B tier. Again, I will adjust this in a moment, guys. Yellow Big Mom, we're going to put in B tier as well. Black Yellow Luffy, we're going to put up here. I'll change in a second. Blue Yellow Ace, B tier. ST14 Luffy's probably still in B tier, but I don't really care for it. And then that is all of them, right? Yeah, Blue Black Sakazuki. Okay, we're gonna put the promo Sakazuki and promo Law D tier. And then where's Red Purple Law? Okay, we got that out of the way. These are OP0, OP11, EB02, OP10, and then OP10 and then ST21. Nice. Okay, we're done. Okay, now we can kind of zoom back in and talk about things. I'm going to focus in on the top first. Let me zoom in. I like how we had it where it was really big. There we go. Nice. Okay, So let me focus in on what I think is just S and A tier. Okay, if you're a competitive player and you're trying to like win tournaments, you're actually trying to go to tournaments, win them, do something with them. I think what you see here, 3, 6, 9, 11, these 11 cards right here, or leaders rather, these 11 leaders right here, this is your best bet currently. Now, as far as the actual order I think they're in, I do think Dofi is still top of the pack. Purple Luffy is up there for sure. I honestly think it looks like this, guys. Some people might think I'm crazy, and that's fine. Let me do this. I will move Smoker, I think, Purple Black Luffy. Let me do it like this, and I'll even push this in front of that. And let's move it down to here. I will push Shanks down one. I will push Shanks down just one notch. Black Yellow Luffy, Lucci, Purple Luffy, and Blue Dofi. I'm going to push, I don't know, Shanks is probably A tier. So here you go, guys. This is what I think. These 4 decks, I think, are the best in OP09 for the remaining of the time. You've got your Blue Dofi, your Purple Luffy, your black and black and yellow decks. You got Black Lucci and black and yellow Luffy. I just think these are just the top-notch decks. And all of these A-tier decks, I don't think they're very far behind. In fact, if we wanted to, we could just put all of these cards up here with S-tier and just say, these are it, guys. These are the top 10 decks in the format. In fact, I'm just going to do that, guys. I'm going to do it like that. Who cares? We can always change it later if we want to anyway. I'm going to say that these decks right here, Purple Black Luffy, guys, is that up there? Maybe, maybe not. Some people might think that's crazy. I'll just say this, 3, 6, 9. These are the top 9 decks in the format, in my personal opinion, with Bello Betty probably being at the very end of that. But one thing that I do love to see here, guys, we have a blue deck, purple, red, green, black, and yellow. So every single color combination is represented. Black is overrepresented as a there's a 2 mono black leaders and a black yellow leader, but yellow is represented very well to an extent because it has yellow Enel and then 2 like cross color multicolored leaders in black yellow Luffy and red yellow Bello Betty. I think these are basically just the top dogs of the format. That's just my personal opinion. Tell me what you guys think in the comment section below, and I'll even shrink my head down a little bit. There we go. Now, for the A-tier stuff, like if this is just the absolute top tier, the next in line cards that are trying to break into this, we'll have to see what happens, is, so my red yellow Sabo deck has fallen off completely for the most part, because let me explain how these matchups go right now, just very quickly. Blue Dofi used to be free. It's not anymore ever since they got the new Blue Law card and the new Boa and the new Teach and all that. It's become almost unwinnable for Red Yellow Sabo. But our matchups into Purple Luffy, our matchups into Black Yellow Luffy, our matchup... Lucci is very 50-50. If we see enough aggression, we can deal with it. And if they don't see enough removal. But we can deal with all these other top 4 right here. Shanks is a nightmare for us. But Marshall D. Teach, Bonnie, and Enel, we can deal with those decently. So Red Yellow Sabo, he's still trying, but he's at the very bottom of A, guys, and I don't know. Until we find something different, we'll have to see what happens with Red Yellow Sabo. I'm not kidding when I say Foxy's a good leader, guys. I'm really not kidding when I say this. I think the leader is extremely good. It's on the verge of trying to get into the top tier spots, right? Purple, Yellow, Nico, Robin, very good stuff here. Zoro, I'm leaving down there. Reiju, I'm going to leave down there. I'll put Purple Yellow Pudding as well because there could be something here very soon. Anything else I want to move up here? I will keep Nami at the tail end of this stuff here because it struggles against the fast decks like Bello Betty, Blue Dofi, and I think it even struggles a little bit versus Blackbeard as well, just shutting down the leader effect when it matters most. Right? And then, yeah, that's probably about all I want on this tier right here. And that ends up being the top... 16 decks right here that I think are in the format, right? Because 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 16. So we got 16 there, guys. Not bad. And yeah, I think that's where we're going to leave it. I'm not going to move stuff around too much. I think everything is pretty much where it needs to be. I will push some things up here further up where I think they belong. I think Green Blue Zanji is nearly something decent. Blurple Croc, people are starting to figure this out more and more, and we're starting to see stuff that can actually help it and support it. Zoro is always going to be just a decent aggro deck, right, guys? Arlong, I think, is better than most people give it credit for. But we are a little bit biased towards Arlong on the channel, right? Reiju's doing fine. Red Purple Kid's there. Katakuri probably needs to go to the top of this. Red-green Law probably needs to be figured out again. It could be somewhere around the Zoro level of power. Green-blue Rosinante, green-black Perona. I like those there, and Ace. Gecko's in the mix somewhere. You could put him wherever. I'm putting green-purple Dofi at the bottom of B tier, guys. Red-blue Marco, I will push up to somewhere around the Isho green, red-black Garp level. Somewhere around there. Be nice to me, guys, in the comment section below. If you disagree, just tell me, because I do want to know what you guys think. Tell me what y'all think, but let's just please be respectful. Blue-yellow Queen, I think, has been struggling. I'm not going to lie. I think it struggles. Green-yellow Yamato as well. I will push this further down. Red-green Odin, I will push up, like where it's at. I'll put it probably right above Sabo. Calgara, this soon, guys. We'll talk about this in a minute. Remember, we're still on OP09, and then we'll go into OP10, right? Green-purple Lim. Again, it's way down here until OP10. Then we got Buggy. This needs a promo. With the promo, Buggy goes up here. Without the promo, I'm going to put it at the very top of B tier. If it has the promo, it goes into A tier. If it doesn't have the promo, I think it's B tier. Red-purple Luffy probably is one that I forgot that should have been in A tier. I'll put it there now. Vegapunk, I will push towards the top of B tier. Sanji, I don't know. I don't know about that one, guys. I will push Uda up a little bit. Boa, it probably needs to be a little bit ahead of that, too. I'll put it right under, right next to Rosinante. Yellow Linlin, we'll put it down towards the end here. And then, yeah, the rest seems like it's fine. Blue, yellow, Ace, and ST14 Luffy. Put it where you want it. Okay, now everything under here, guys, I'm sorry. If your favorite leader is in here, it is what it is. It's down here. We'll have to, you guys are going to have to convince me otherwise. Show me some kind of tournament results or explain it to me, and I'll try to figure out something for next tier list. So we're going to completely forget about everything on C tier for now. Okay, guys, we are just going to forget about that for now. Let me see what happens if I delete this, guys. Is this going to be a nightmare? Here we go. We're gonna try something here, guys. I'm going to try to just delete an entire tier live here. Delete row. Will it delete the cards in it? No, it pushed the cards to the bottom. Oh, well, I was actually hoping that it did delete the cards and push them to the bottom. That's fine. Okay, so now we're left with just this top stuff here. And it did at least kind of save... hang on, let me zoom back in. It did at least save where these were, where I can just click on these very easily. They're all at the very top of the selection list. Now, let's get into OP10, right? That is next on the list. Let me push Smoker to the front, then Caesar Clown, Eustace Kid, Usopp, Sugar, and Green-Yellow Law. Okay, got them in a decent order here where I want to move these. Now, where do I think they are going to line up? Guys, I'm going to have to move some of this stuff out of B. I'll tell you what, I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to... we'll leave it. We'll leave it for now. We'll leave it. So, Red-Green Smoker. I think Red-Green Smoker going into OP10 is going to go straight to... like the bottom of A or very top of B. I think Red-Green Smoker is actually much better than I originally gave it credit for. I don't think it's a super top tier deck or anything, but I do think it can, like I said, I think it can sneak in at the end of A or at the very top of B. Okay, Caesar Clown, I'm sorry guys, I'm going to put it at the very bottom of B. It's not there yet. Eustace Kid was one I thought was going to be better than it was, but I'm going to put this below Smoker, probably somewhere in the B category. We'll have to see what happens. Maybe people need to figure something out better with the deck list. Who knows what's going to happen, right? Who knows what will happen, but we're not there yet. Okay, blue-black Usopp, however, moves all the way to the top of A, and some people might be yelling at me saying, hey, put him in S tier. But I'm at least going to put this card, whoops, hang on, it wouldn't let me grab it. There we go. I'm going to put it at the top of A for now for OP10. For red-purple Sugar, this leader actually gets probably right under Eustace Kid. It has potential. It's not incredible yet, but this was another one where I couldn't believe how good it was. I'm just shaking my head like, wow, why is this so much better than I thought it would be? But we're going to put that near the top of B tier. I do think Sugar will fall in there somewhere. And then we have Green, Yellow, Law. I think this will fall in at the very bottom of A tier, okay? I feel like we're missing a card here. Hang on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... Oh, Caesar Clown, I put it at the very bottom. Okay. So this is roughly... Oh, and then when OP10 comes out, guys, when OP10 comes out, I think Purple Yellow Crocodile actually jumps ahead of something like a yellow Eustace Kid, because instead of me needing to stand up my blocker to get the Basil Hawken effect, I can literally just redirect attacks into my Basil Hawkins when they come my way. I think Purple Yellow Croc actually pushes way up towards the top of B tier in OP10, guys. And again, that's in OP10. Let me see if there's any other big movers here. Some people are probably pushing for Green Purple Dofi to go up here. I will put him up here because I think some people have reported some success with it. I have not found any success with it, guys. Even when when Purple gets all those new Doflamingo cards for Purple Sugar, man, again, maybe Green and Purple are my two worst colors. So maybe that's the main thing behind that, but I have not been able to get this leader to work for me, guys. Tell me what y'all think about it in the comment section below, getting the new cards from OP10. Green Blue Zanji's right here. I still like, I think I still like the rest. I do think I still like the rest. Yeah. All right, so that's that. Just going over things one more time. Now, going into... and then ST21 hits, guys. ST21 hits right before EB02 does. And I think this new Luffy will probably jump somewhere towards the top of B tier. Wherever you would consider Zoro, I would consider this card slightly better. So maybe right here's a better spot for him. Like right next to the whole Zoro Trafalgar Law thing. It's just going to be a hyper-aggressive Straw Hat focused red deck. I know this is a crazy... I use alt arts for the you know, for these leaders. This is a mono red deck, so understand that right away, guys. I think this ST21 Luffy is going to be fun, very cool. Probably could sneak locals. Like I said, guys, stuff on B could probably sneak locals, but like sneaking bigger tournaments or the biggest tournaments, that's what I would. I think would be leaders you can expect to win, like flagships and better, and then S would be like the top level, like regionals and things like that. You could win like nationals, regionals, whatever the biggest tournaments are in your area. Okay, now one more deck that I want to push up from OP10. Sorry, I did forget this one, guys. I'm going to push up Yellow Linlin, because getting access to some of these new life removal curve cards, like 6 cost, 6 cost Nika Robin, I believe was in OP09, and then in OP10 it gets Eustace Kid, and then it already had for its 10 drop Linlin. I think this leader gets as good as Katakuri around this time period. Okay. And then we've got one more to go over. I think, Lim. We almost forgot about Lim. In OP10, guys, everyone's talking about how strong Lim will become in OP10. I know, I understand, guys. It gets access to better Odyssey cards. It becomes more consistent. But I do think this deck still struggles massively. But again, probably can steal local wins, no problem. Even local tournaments, if depending on what your locals is like. Okay, last but not least, guys, before we go into the OP11 cards, going into the OP11 stuff, we have a new top contender here. I'm going to drop Nami off, guys. We're going to drop Nami down into here for now. Top of A tier, maybe even bottom of S tier, or maybe some people might say he's in S tier. This new green-purple Luffy, guys, really strong. We have messed around with this on the channel already in videos and on stream, and it looks to me like it only has one massive weakness, and that is going against any deck with like strong removal like Lucci. A black deck like Lucci, I think, is going to be very strong into this. But other than that, man, this leader pumps, guys. This leader absolutely pumps, and I'm talking about this leader right here, guys. Notice he looks all red because that's the alt art. He is a green-purple leader. That's just a really weird-looking alt art. So really good stuff there. That is an EB02 leader. It's the only leader from EB02, right? Okay, now, OP11. Time for the part that a lot of people were waiting for. I'm sure some people may even just skip straight to my OP11 predictions. Hey, that's fine. Completely fine. But here we go, guys. Purple Katakuri. This is a leader that will have the ability to kind of peer into your opponent's... one more card, excuse me. In EB02, whenever this new leader comes out, whenever the new leader here comes out, I do think Enel jumps up quite a few ranks, probably around here somewhere, guys. And I think Calgara jumps up to probably very top of B tier, if not into the A tier. Calgara may actually jump into the A tier, guys. I'm going to be honest. Okay? Now... moving forward, we got some of the purple, or excuse me, we have the OP11 leaders. First up, we're going to do Purple Katakuri. I think this leader is going to be pretty good, but I actually don't think he'll go straight into A tier, because I think whatever support Katakuri is going to get Purple Yellow Pudding might just be able to abuse more effectively. We'll have to see what happens. We haven't seen all the cards yet, and we haven't seen any of the results yet. I think this will become a very strong purple leader. I think that Bandai printed Purple Katakuri with ambitions to be around the level of Purple Luffy one day, but a Big Mom Pirates version, obviously. It's not the same. I'm not saying it's the same, but it has a lot of that. I think I get the same vibes from this leader as I do from Luffy, even though they're very different effects. Because I think that Bandai wants another very strong mono purple leader. I think that is probably going to be next on the agenda for them, something to focus in on, so that way they can keep things as balanced as we see them up here. Because like I already said earlier, we have all 6 colors represented in mono colors right now at the top of the game. This is an incredibly healthy format, guys. I know some people are going to say, yeah, but Blue Dofi's just like the overall best deck out of all of them. Yeah, well, if it is, hopefully we'll find more ways to deal with it, right? Because I do think Enel's very strong in Dofi. I do think Lucci is very strong in Dofi. It's at least a good matchup. And yeah, I think Black Yellow Luffy can compete against it as well. So I don't know, guys. We'll have to see what happens at the highest level of tournament play. Now, back to what we were saying with OP11. I do think Katakuri is at the very top of B tier. Maybe it's at the bottom of A tier. I have to see more from the spoilers and see how things play out. But I do have decently high hopes for this leader to maybe settle one day around the A tier of leaders. Blue Yellow Nami. This, I think, goes straight into the A tier. And because of that, by the way, I am going to go ahead and drop down Nico Robin for a while here. I'm going to drop this down to... I'm going to drop down Nico, Robin, and Foxy to clear up potential spaces going into OP11. Because, guys, with the way power creep works, certain leaders start falling off. Now, I do think... I'll talk more about this later, but I do think this purple-yellow Nico Robin is very good. I think it's underestimated right now. I just did a video on it. I'm not done exploring this leader. I do think this is at least like a very high tier, high B leader or low A tier leader. So blue-yellow Nami, I think will jump towards maybe the middle of A tier, maybe closer towards the top of A tier. Will it become S tier? I don't know. We're going to have to see what happens. I have not seen enough on this. This is just predictions at this point, guys. We have almost zero data. Guys, understand this. If you saw a random player from the East win a game with Blue Yellow Nami versus Dofi, that doesn't mean it's actually favored. It just means in their testing with zero experience and without proper meta adjustments, the leader did well to start, which is a good sign, and that's why I'm throwing it straight into the A tier. I'm going to push Red Yellow Sabo all the way down the bottom here. So Blue-Yellow Nami, I think this is going to go straight to the top of A tier, maybe towards the bottom of S tier. I think this is going to be a very good leader. Buffing 2000 is no joke. And the ability to draw cards when manipulating life is just incredible. Blurple Luffy, I'm also going to push this all the way to the top, or all the way to the middle of A tier. I'll put it towards the very middle of A tier. Probably around the same power level as these 3 other Luffys. Purple-Black Luffy, because it has access to black and has good removal. Red-Purple Luffy has access to ramp and just, power manipulation. And then Blurple Luffy is going to be somewhere in the middle, where it has blue for extra utility, but they can all ramp very aggressively. So I do think this will go up there somewhere. Now, for the rest of these, let's talk about that. Let me also do one more thing. I think... Hang on one second, guys. I will push... Pudding towards the top of B tier, because I want to push Kobe towards the very bottom of A tier. Who knows, actually? Who knows? We'll have to see. I'll change their position currently. Actually, I will move... I was showing a little bit too much bias there, guys, with Sabo. I think around OP11, we're going to have to see what happens with Red Yellow Sabo. I have high hopes for him, but I'm going to push him way down here towards like a more unexplored area where it might have some potential to get into, to sneak into A tier if we can figure out a good enough list. But that is the same for all 4 of these leaders right here. Purple Yellow Nico Robin, Red Yellow Sabo, Purple Yellow Crocodile, and Red Green Smoker. We're going to have to see what we can come up with. But Red Black, so I think I will put it ahead of of Pudding. I think that Red Black Kobe might become a very good deck. In fact, it probably will sit somewhere in the middle of A tier. And since we're on OP11, guys, I've already seen that new Supernova card, the new beige card. I'm already going to push green, yellow, law towards the top of A as well. Maybe still behind blue, black Usopp, though. But yeah, so there's red, black Kobe. That's where I want to put him at. Green, yellow Shirahoshi. You guys are going to have to explain this one to me. And same thing with Jinbei. I'm not seeing it for these cards just yet. I will put them here out of respect because they're just the new kids on the block, you know what I mean? But these three have to really prove themselves. Shirahoshi, Jinbei, and Purple Katakuri, they're going to have to really, really show themselves. And I'm not saying they can't. I'm not saying they can't, but this is like kind of a prediction of where they're at based on all that I've seen so far. Jinbei might even be a little better than Shirahoshi, but I don't think it's going to be as good as Katakuri. But here's my issue, guys. Like, no matter what you're thinking in your head right now, like, man, you know, I'm going to do this, this, and this with the deck. Well, is it going to do it as good as Dofi or Purple Luffy does it as far as, like, you know, flooding the board goes? And then let me ask you this. If they do flood the board, how good are they going to be at dealing with a deck like Black Lucci, when Lucci could just rip all their characters? Or even Blackbeard potentially just wiping everything off the board. You know what I mean? Because now they're going to have access to Liberation, and that's going to be pretty wild, right? That's going to be pretty wild. At which point, I do think, I will say this, I'll update the list a little bit from here, because I want to just clear off 3 spots. I am going to remove Ace at this point. I am going to remove, I think, oh, Reiju will also get something very soon, guys. I'm going to move that up to the top of B tier. And then, hang on one second, I want to remove 2 more leaders from this area. I'm going to probably remove the Caesar Clown. I just don't think it will have it. And then I'm also going to remove maybe this leader. We'll see what happens. I say that, but who knows? Maybe this leader, I'll put it up to the top here. Maybe the ST14 Luffy will be able to pop back into the list with the new Garp card we just saw. Who knows? But here you go, guys. This is kind of where I'm sitting when it comes to the entire meta of One Piece. And I'm trying to fill out everything into 3 main tiers. And anything under these tier, guys, or anything under this, you know, the bottom here, it's like, does the leader really have it, guys? I don't know. I mean, other than maybe ST06 Sakazuki. No, I'm just kidding. But seriously, like, maybe Rebecca. Rebecca might have a place to sneak in here. But that's about it, guys. I mean, honestly, when I'm looking at this, that's probably about it. I'll put red, purple, yeah, and I'll keep her right there, actually. I'll keep red, purple, sugar right there. And there you go, guys. I think this is the list I'm pretty happy with. So these are my predictions for OP10, right? This is the prediction for OP10. I think Doflamingo will remain very, or excuse me, OP11. OP11, guys, 11. I believe that Doflamingo will remain on top, along with everything you see up here. I think that if you're playing any of these leaders, the very, very bottom end here, Dark Horse of Bello Betty, guys, if you don't understand how this deck works, just know that Blue Dofi is probably the only thing keeping Bello Betty in check right now. This deck can run over black decks, it can run over Purple Luffy, it can run over Shanks, it can run over Bonnie's pretty tough, I'm not gonna lie. Enel can stop it, I think, with a good enough pilot. And but against Blackbeard, that's a free matchup. You know, this leader's very, very strong, guys. So I know some people might be scoffing at this, because I'm not gonna lie, maybe this leader does go up top here, right here. Let me do that real quick. We're going to work 1 more leader in to this. I want to make it where it's perfectly, you know, what is this, 10 across? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. So we'll have 10 in the very top tier, 10 directly under that, and then the other ones that are trying to find their way into this conversation. You guys tell me who y'all think should be in this final spot right here, but I'm actually leaning towards Calgara, because he will become a very aggressive list. Again, remember, guys, this is OP11. So after EB02, when we have access to all of the super power, that super powerful new Sky Island card, the 10 cost NL. Okay, and then I will push this card up. I will push up the Rebecca. I think maybe I'm just going to remove the Sanji, guys. I think maybe I'll remove the Sanji. Tell me if I'm crazy on that, and I'll push in this this Luffy. No, it's probably Isho everyone's going to yell at me about. Oh, I'm glad I saw that. I'll push the Sanji back up because of that. I'll put Isho right here. But Red Black Garp does go up a notch, guys. I almost forgot about that. Red Black Garp does go up a notch somewhere around this red green smoker area, I believe. I do think that's going to happen. And guys, man, I am so tempted to just remove Green Purple Dofi, guys. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm literally going to remove Green Purple Dofi at the end here, and I'm going to put Green Black Isho above that. I legitimately think Green Black Isho is better than Green Purple Luffy in this format. It's not saying much. This is B tier, right, guys? This is like middle of the pack B tier decks. I'm just saying that's how low I think of this leader currently. Red Black Sabo might need to move up as well, wherever Red Black Garp is. Here we go. There we go. And honestly, Shirahoshi, with it being a leader that cannot attack, I'm gonna make one more adjustment. Shirahoshi's out of here. This is a leader that cannot attack. It might become very good. We'll see what happens, because I know Vegapunk also cannot attack, but Vegapunk has shown what it can do, right? But here we go, guys. This is the list I'm leaning towards. Let me go ahead and zoom in now where we can see everything. Nice. Yep. And that's did that? Yeah, I don't know. It cleared up one more spot. Anyway, this ends up being the 10, 20, 30, what, top 50 cards? Oh, maybe I could do that to finish it, guys. Do a top 50 card selection. So I'd have to remove 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cards. So this is like a top 60. That gets too hard for me. You guys know I try to give hope where there isn't any for some of these leaders. But yeah, I know we're just going to leave right here. Whatever the case is, I think these are your top 20 cards at the very top. Let me shrink my camera down so you guys can see better. Here we go, guys. Here's the list for now. We're just going to stick with this. Top 50 would have been so nice, man. I think, do we do that, guys? Do we just force it? I think we have to just force it, guys. I think we have to just simply force it. But I don't know what to get rid of. Next time. Next time, guys, we're going to do a top 50 list, because there's going to be that much more leaders as well. So here you go, guys. This is it. This is what I'm going with for my tier list. I think everything on the S tier is pretty much dead on. I think it will really largely depend. I'll probably even move this up to here, and this. Whoops, hang on, guys. I'm too far up where it won't let me click on the cards. There we go. It will probably look something more like this. I will go ahead and just make that quick adjustment. Let me go right to perfect. All right, there it is. I'm done. I'm not going to mess with it anymore, or I'm going to try not to. I say that now. Watch. But I think these top 10 cards here are just dead on. I think this is what we can expect going into OP11 in no particular order. But I do think Dofi will still be the top dog around then. Who knows? These new leaders, this green purple Luffy, guys, and this blue yellow Nami look very, very strong. Okay, they look very, very strong. And then I'm really curious to see if any of these leaders right here you guys think should be able to break into the A tier. Like maybe this Katakuri gets down to the bottom of A tier, or maybe it's better than Calgara. Maybe I should push Calgara down. I don't know. You know, we'll have to see what happens. But Usopp, green yellow Law, red yellow Bella Betty, Smoker, red black. You know, I kept this here for a while. This probably should go down. Smoker probably loses a little bit of favor over time, but not too much. But yeah, here you go, guys. This is like the direction I'm leaning now towards. Let me move it like this. There we go. All right, I'm done yapping, or at least on this. This is the tier list, guys. Tell me what y'all think in the comment section below. Mainly focus on the S tier and A tier. Guys, I've seen what people say about me. They're like, why do you think all these decks can win? Never said all these decks could win, guys. In fact, what I'm really saying is the S tier and A tier, these are leaders that can win. I think all of these leaders can win in the S tier and the A tier going into OP11. Now, will they? Who knows? These are just predictions. Maybe one leader will fall off completely. I'll have to make some adjustments then. But these are kind of the predictions I'm leaning towards. So in other words, if you are starting to think like, okay, I need to start getting my cards now of the cards I can get for a leader I don't play yet that might be in these S and A tier categories, like, okay, you know, start getting your cards now if you can get a hold of them. But everything in the B tier, guys, understand that's like not winning tier. That's B tier is not we're winning. B tier is like, okay, this is, you know, on the verge. If something gets figured out, we'll have to see what happens, right? Okay, I'm done, guys. That's enough of that. Now, let's go ahead and check out. I do have one game for you guys today on the sim. Let me zoom all the way back to where I was. There we go. That's how far zoomed in we were, guys. This is at 100%. We were like all the way at like 200 or something. Okay. Now, we have one game on the sim versus one of the new leaders here. We got Green Purple Luffy. Okay. This is from EB02. The new Luffy is from EB02, right? And here we go. So the volume is off. Speed is on 2x, and we're playing Yellow Eustace Kid. I'm really hoping that Eustace Kid can be something better than I think it's going to be, because I do have little bit of concerns here and there for it based off of current results that I've seen. We probably should have looked at some of the results, but we'll probably say that for another video. Okay, so they get the stage. They're just doing searching. 2 stages in a Nami. They're just searching like crazy. We're going to go ahead and block this, or I mean take this, excuse me. We can't use the counter there. That is a promo, or the trigger rather. That is a promo trigger, Trafalgar Law, that can play out if you and your opponent have 5 or less life altogether. Okay, we're going to go ahead and tap down the Nami here. We'll just go ahead and probably bash into that. And then we're going to pass the turn, stand up our blocker, or stand up our character. Now we have a blocker, and we know what our top card is. They're going to come in for 5 here. I'm just going to take it. I don't want to use any cards in hand. I want to go down to 1 life as quickly as possible as well, so I can start getting value from my Rygo and my 10 cost ace. Okay, so they play out a they play out a Sanjian Pudding. They go. So guys, did y'all see what happened there? That is a very important interaction you need to learn. So watch this. 5 Dawn turn. I was on a 4 Dawn turn, right? So now they're on a 5 Dawn turn. They're going to swing for 5. We take it. Now they play out Sanji. Now their leader effect is going to allow them to go Dawn -2 to stand 2 Dawn as active. So they'll go backwards down to 3 Dawn, and they'll stand 2 Dawn as active. And then the Pudding will ramp 1 Dawn back. So they're basically just returning 1 Dawn to stand 3 Dawn as active. Okay, that's how that works in this specific situation. Watch, they go down to there. They go down to 4, like I was saying, back up, down to 3, back up to 4, and yeah, they play out a Nico Robin. Seems good. Seems very good. We're gonna tap down the Nico Robin. We're gonna swing 5 into it. Let's see if he wants to save it. He wants to use the effect and go down to 3 Dawn. That's very, very very scary. Now we are going to play out the Nico Robin there, and did they lose a life? I missed it. Hang on. What? Yeah, they had to. I was going to say, what's going on? So I play out the Nico Robin here. They're going to trash their top life. It was a Luffy. We're going to stand up the X-Drake, and then we're going to use it as a blocker, but we're really just trying to protect it, to be honest, guys. Now, if we take a hit, we do get that Trafalgar Law into play. Which we just might. We just might. Okay, they're down to 4 life. They're going to swing in for 7. We'll take it. We get a free body. We'll take that. They're going to swing in for 7. We could probably cash in on the X-Drake right here. I think we should have used the X-Drake here, guys. That was a little greedy. However, never punished. Did y'all see that? They did not use their stage yet to buff the power, excuse me, the cost of their Sanjian Pudding by 2 to get it to 7. I got a trigger Nami, popped their pudding before they could, you know, before they buffed it. Okay, we're on an 8 Dawn turn now. Next turn we can drop down the big boy. We got the 10 cost here. We're going to swing in for 5. We're going to swing in for 6. I don't know why we did that. I guess maybe I can stand it now with the leader effect. That's fine. And here we go. Maybe tap that down. I should have swung 5 into it. Yeah, that's fine. It ends up working out the same in the end, guys, because we're going to play out a Shirahoshi. We're going to end the turn. We're going to stand up the X-Drake or the Law. It's a hard call. I like the X-Drake better because it has more utility. And if he wants to swing into that Trafalgar Law, be my guest. So they go ahead and tap down the Shirahoshi. They're going to swing 5 into one of them, 5 into the other one. Very well played. And now they can swing in for 6 with their leader. I have a 2K counter in hand, but looks like I could just use this blocker. I don't know. I think I should just... Oh, well. We'll use the blocker there. I think we should use the 2K in hand and keep the board. Swing 5 into 5. We're just eating cards from hand here. I'm going to swing into it this many times. Yep, give me every card from your hand. They saved every one of them. Now we're going to gain a life. Swing 10 into 5. Their turn. Very nice. We stand up our Trafalgar Law. We actually have a Nami. Let's see what happens here. I think I should just counter out of one of these. Yeah, I actually 2K countered out there. Here we go. Here's the big play that this deck does. They're going to swing 7, return 2 active Dawn. Let's see if they do it. Okay, well, they basically cheated right there. You're not allowed to do that, but they swing for 7. No big deal. We do have the 2K, 1K. And then they're going to swing in for 6K. We'll give them a 2K. Actually, we just take that and pop that card. They swing for, because we do still have a blocker as well. We'll 2K counter out of that, and that's going to be game they go ahead and give up. The idea here is they can only use 1 Gum Giant, and then they have no more Dawn left, guys. Literally, they're on 2 Dawn. Okay, so good game to my opponent. That was a fun one. I wasn't saying they were trying to cheat, guys. Maybe they weren't. Maybe they just don't know about it yet. You never know with this. But the sim is still a little bit wonky, and who knows? At the time of you watching this video, they may have already fixed that where they can't do that. Or you know, where they're not allowed to do that, like they shouldn't be able to. So, in fact, let me just explain what's going on real quick for those who are not aware. There is a new a new 6-cost card coming out in EB02 called Monkey D. Luffy. This card right here, and it has, if your leader is multicolored and your opponent has 5 or more Dawn cards on the field, this character gains Rush, very powerful. And then when attacking, once per turn, return 2 of your Dawn cards to your Dawn deck and set this card as active. Okay, then add the top card of your life to your hand. So notice what it says there, return 2 of your active Dawn cards, not rested ones. Okay, and the guy did that in the last game. I'm not saying he was trying to do that. It was probably just an accident. It is what it is, though. We got there, very powerful effect. And like I was saying, in the future, whenever, if you guys are watching this video in the future, hello to the future, right? If you're watching this in the future, it's probably going to be fixed at some point, hopefully very soon. Now, here we go, guys. This is the deck we were running in today's video. 4 Shirahoshis, 4 Beige, 4 Gadatsu, 4 Satori, 4 of the 10-cost Ace, 4 Nami, 4 Nico Robin, 4 Basil Hawkins, 4 of the 1-cost Searcher Luffy, 4 8-cost Eustace Kid, the one that rips life, 4 2K Counter X-Drake, 4 7-cost Law, and 2 Raigo. A totally generic 4 of everything list. I love the fact that we're running the Gadatsus. I love the Namis. We have a lot of removal on the list. And there's another card that I'll probably try to incorporate I can't even talk right now, guys. There's another card I'm going to try to put into the deck, right? Incorporate into the deck sooner rather than later. It is a 3-cost yellow card. It is a Kid Pirates card, which is annoying that this card is Supernova. So like Luffy, you'd think would be the perfect searcher for the deck. But it's really not the perfect searcher for the deck because you can't even search up your 5-cost Luffys with something like this. Well, not that one. Where's the this one? This is a Supernova Luffy, right? You can't even search this up with Luffy because a searcher typically can't search up a card with the same name. So not only can you not search up the card we just talked about, Luffy, but you also can't search up this other really strong card that came out in OP10 with this whole set called, I think it's just Killer, isn't it? Or no, Heat and Wire or something like that. Guys, I'm looking for it. Here it is. This card right here. Heat and Wire is a Kid Pirates card. So I can't use this. It has a trigger. It's actually a perfect card for the deck, and I am going to try to incorporate this eventually. Okay? All right. That's it. That's it for today's video. Hope y'all enjoyed. Please do not forget to like and subscribe. Let me bring up the playmat page here. Big shout out to everybody who supports the channel, guys, whether you're liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting, viewing, whatever you're doing to help out the channel. Thank you so much. Big shout out to all the VP Pirates playmat supporters here. Thank you to everybody on here for supporting me in that way. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the playmat. Big shout out to the VV Pirates YouTube members, okay? Getting access to all the old VODs to watch those whenever you want to. And again, it helps me out so much. Thank you so much. And there are more I need to add to this list, guys. Bear with me. Be patient if you should be on here, guys. Give me time. Be patient. And then last but not least, with the patrons page, people just donating to help out the cause. Just trying to keep the channel going, keep the dream alive, and keep the ship afloat, right? Awesome. Awesome, guys. Thank you guys so much as well. All right, that's it. I'm done. Please do not forget to like, subscribe. We will be streaming tonight. Okay, we'll be streaming some off-topic stuff, right? It's just going to be a chill stream, chill session, right? Doing who knows what. Maybe some League of Legends, maybe some Marvel Rivals. Hop on tonight on YouTube, probably around 11 p.m. EST, Eastern Time, okay? EST, Eastern Standard Time, isn't that what it stands for? Yeah, something like that. Okay? Anything else? Oh, please tell me what y'all thought about the tier list, but let's please be nice. Please be respectful, guys, okay? That's all I ask. All right, can't wait to see what y'all say about it. Until next time, guys. Peace.